So another project we want to talk about is Seven Deadly Sins. Seven Deadly Sins is pretty sweet. I like the graphics from it. They're edgy. They're a little bit dark, a little bit mopey at times, and that's in a good sense.
Well, there's sins.
Yeah.
I mean, you got greed, and, sloth, wrath. I mean, gluttony of all of them, and lust, and it's like those are all sins. Those are all like if you max out on them, man, they're deadly.
Yeah. Envy looked pretty rough too.
What's that?
Envy looked pretty rough too.
Oh yeah.
So each of these sins are based on a different color. They're pretty neat drawings, and they all have an animal tied to them. If you look very closely, they have a tattoo on their neck. Mm-hmm. And some of those are rares, and those rares have some of those rares have the animal in the background. There's some different patterns for backgrounds and things like that. But
yeah,
there's a different rarity play in this one.
There is. Yep. So don't use like soul rarity or anything like that for the Seven Deadly Sins. They've created their own rarity, and if you go on to, I think it's Rare Sinners channel on their Discord, they'll have 7 posters, and each of the posters have 16 rares, and the one poster, each of them have an animal too. So if you have that animal, that's like a super rare sin. So there's one animal super rare for each of the sins, but all the sinners that are not animals are facing to the right, because it's a profile picture, kind of like the George Washington on a quarter, or any coin where profile's looking right or left. So the rares are facing right, the regulars are facing left, and then
I noticed with the rares, some have masks on and some don't have masks on. And I noticed that for rares, I don't think they had the mask on.
I don't remember any of them having the mask.
The rares I have don't have the mask.
But I do want to bring up, they minted, I think, 5,555 of these, right? Okay, so of the 16 times 7, you're looking at 112 rares, and that includes the super rares. And so if you go on Magic Eden right now, I know there's one for 2.5 soul, and and it's a diamond rare, and I'm like this close to buying it, but like I said, I'm saving my powder because I got these other projects I want to buy.
There's always more projects than cash, no matter who you are.
Right, and so I'm not looking for a quick flip, but if somebody wants to go on there and do a quick flip, you can get that for 2.5 and probably easily post it for 4 to 4.5 and see a purchase within a week. And then there's like
kind of like Kawhi. These are in sets too. You want to collect a full set of 7 if you want to be part of the DAO.
Yes.
And what's DAO?
It's the Decentralized Autonomous Organization.
So we're going to try to do a few definitions along the way in case you're learning this stuff. But if you're looking for passive income, you definitely want to be part of some kind of DAO or royalty system in the NFTs you invest in, aside from investing in NFTs for their later value.
Right. And then in phase 2, when you have one of each of the sins for a total set of 7, you will be getting what's called, you'll be able to redeem those 7 sins for the ultra rare hybrid sin, which will give you more passive income earning. That's what it says on the roadmap. So if you go to the roadmap, it'll be right there and you can take a look at it. Also, they are going to pay out the royalties in what's called SinCoin. So the $SIN. And so when that comes out, when the royalties are paid out, through the sin tax generation and then the secondary market exchange, they're paying you in SinCoin. So that is going to have a future utility, and that's all going to depend on the DAO, whether they do gaming, marketing, wherever this project decides to go. But they have teed up an NFT project that when the DAO can get a hold of it, these programmers are just going to listen to the DAO and then move forward with it. It's going to be great.
Sounds like good stuff.